So I finally have been able to try out some of the Volair fragrances. People have been asking me what I think about the floral vanilla from them, which is inspired by Vanille Planifolia, which is of course my favorite vanilla. I have two other dupes of that fragrance, so we're gonna compare all three dupes today: Vanilla Floral, Vanilla Aura, as well as Vanopolia against the original Vanille Planifolia. Let's get into it. So first up, we have to talk about what does the original Vanille Planifolia actually smell like. I would describe this as a slightly spicy vanilla. Not spicy like YSL Baby Cat or Rifa Quat from Paris Corner, but it has like a spicy, rich vanilla vibe to it. The reason why this vanilla is so expensive, why some people like myself do consider it to be the best vanilla that we have on the market that has ever been created, even though it is so crazy expensive, is because of how authentic and rich and I guess just like decadent the vanilla in this smells. Like it smells like a true vanilla. Guerlain is my favorite perfume house, and I really do think they have the best vanillas because of the intense high quality that they put towards their perfumes. Most perfume houses are not taking, a single ingredient and soaking it for 21 days to create something. Or going to, these countries and other places and really trying to source the best possible ingredient for that perfume. And I think because of that, they are able to create just really rich, delicious, unique smelling DNAs that even when people try to dupe them, I've never smelled an exact one-to-one to any Guerlain fragrance. I've smelled fragrances that are close, that smell nice, but not good enough to where I would say it has replaced any of the original Guerlain fragrances for me. But again, they still smell very nice. So that's what it smells like. A rich, slightly spicy vanilla. I consider it to be unisex and just very delicious. Is it gourmand? I wouldn't consider it to be overly gourmand. No, it's not going to give you that type of like cupcake association. It's more like a not overly sweet vanilla extract. Like it just smells like real vanilla, if that makes sense. So anyways, let's get into which of the dupes perform the best, smell the best, blah, 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 blah. So starting off with the first dupe that I'd ever smelled for Vanille Planifolia, Vanilla Aura. This caused a lot of hoopla and controversy on TikTok last year because there were people who were arguing that this is, better or a one-to-one of Guerlain, and there were people who were saying, no, you're crazy. I think I fall on the side again that would say, not that anyone's crazy, but that I don't think it's a one-to-one. It's not a bad perfume, but I personally don't wear this. I don't like it because it has this very prominent lemon accord that I pick up as smelling synthetic and fakey. It smells like a powdery vanilla that whenever I smell it and I compare it to Vanille Planifolia, I can immediately pick out Vanilla Aura because of this lemon powderiness that I just don't like. It has like this very almost like vintagey vibe to it. Again, it's not bad. And I for sure think it smells great on other people if they want to wear that. I actually haven't never smelled this on other people, but I don't think it would smell bad on anybody. I just personally don't like the smell of it. So in comparison to the original Vanille Planifolia, I really think that lemon synthetic powderiness that is added ruins it and is not close enough for me. What I will give it credit for though, is that it is very strong, very long lasting, and very beast modey if you're looking for that type of, performance. The second perfume that I smelled that was a dupe of Vanille Planifolia is Vanopolia from Hayaka Attar. This one is really nice. It's definitely the one that I have the biggest dent in. It has a closer richness to the original Vanille Planifolia. It doesn't have that same additional overly citrusy, synthetic, powdery lemonness that I'm talking about that I smell in the Vanilla Aura, which I appreciate. It is still not a one-to-one, but it is closer for sure than Vanilla Aura. And when I'm looking to get a similar scent profile or a similar vibe from Vanille Planifolia, this is the one that I run to the most, that I've worn the most because it gives me that feeling without the expensive price tag, so I can extend the wear on the original fragrance, but it's still not as rich, still doesn't smell at the same level of quality, but this is still a beautiful perfume that I think most individuals who don't want to spend over $600 for one 50 milliliter, perfume would probably enjoy, in my opinion. And then last, we have the newest addition to the Vanille Planifolia dupe family, at least the newest in my collection, I should say, which is the Vanilla Floral from Volare. So when I first got this, I thought, how is this considered a good dupe for Vanilla Planifolia? Because it just didn't smell good to me at all. It had something that was a little bit funky in there to me. The performance was very weak to me. And then when it finally dried down and it got closer, I was still like, no, in comparison to the other two. I've given it a few days to kind of rest and tried it again. And I will say that it's better. And I think if you don't have the original Vanilla Planifolia or maybe Vanopolia, I could see how someone would like this, but I still don't think it's great. When you first spray it, there's something in this opening that I just don't really enjoy. It's very citrusy. It feels like a brighter take on the DNA. Not as like lemony synthetic-y as Vanilla Aura, but like a citrusy, brighter take for sure. And as it dries down, it does get closer to the original Vanilla Planifolia, but you also get this sweetness that I don't smell in the original Vanilla Planifolia. Like it smells like they've added extra sugar in here. I compare it to when I make Sunday sauce on Sundays. I always make bolognese from scratch. And there are some people who put sugar in their spaghetti sauce. I think that's like blasphemy because there's something about, I don't know, putting in artificial sugar that I don't like. I like to use red bell peppers and carrots. And if you let it simmer for at least 4 hours, that slow simmer will naturally draw out the sugar in those vegetables. And I think it gives the sauce like a better, more authentic sweet flavor that doesn't feel like it was just like sugar added on top. That's me being picky with my, Sunday sauce. That's what this smells like to me, the Vanilla Floral. It feels like they've added in sugar and they didn't allow it to simmer for a long time. They didn't use the highest quality of vanilla or tomatoes, and you get this smell that just, to me, doesn't smell great. I would not consider it to be bad, but I don't think it is as close, in terms of my taste as I've been hearing it would be. And I don't think it beats Vanopolia. So for me, I would still put Vanopolia as my #1 dupe for Vanilla Planifolia. In second place, I would put Vanilla Floral. And in third place would be Vanilla Aura. Now, if you are looking for performance, I think you will not enjoy Vanilla Floral as much. I for sure think that Vanopolia and Vanilla Aura are stronger. I also think that the citrusiness and lemoniness, if you don't like that, then you're not going to like Vanilla Aura or Vanilla Floral, because they both open up with different types, but citrusy, brighter takes on the DNA that kind of stay there forever. That's one of the reasons why, or probably the main reason why, I enjoy Vanopolia the most, because I feel like it gets closer to the original Vanilla Planifolia, like right off the bat. You don't have to wait for this overly citrus dry down to come. It just tries to get right into this spicy, deeper, richer vanilla. Again, still not 1-to-1, but closer. So I don't think that any of them are bad, and I don't think that you can go wrong with any. It really just depends on what you like, If you want super beast mode, but still affordable, and you like a more lemony vintage vibe, then I would go with Vanilla Aura. If you want what I would consider to be the closest to the actual Vanilla Planifolia DNA, no extra citrus lemony, still good performance, I would go with Vanopolia. And if you want, I don't know, who would want Vanilla Floral? I guess if you want almost like a sweeter, almost fruitier mid heart of the fragrance with a more citrus opening, but not in the same vintage lemony way as Vanilla Aura, and you want the dry down to be closer to Vanilla Planifolia than Vanilla Aura from Mason Asrar, but the projection is not going to be as much and the longevity is not going to be as much, then maybe Vanilla Floral will work for you. But they're not bad. They're just very different in their own ways, and it depends on what you're looking for. I will still be sticking with the original and Vanopolia as my two go-tos, but not mad at all for trying these other two. So let me know if you tried any of these, and if so, what you think about them, where you rank them, what is your favorite or best dupe of Vanilla Planifolia. And I will see you guys back tomorrow for our next episode.